Yes, yes, yes. Here I am once again. Uh, Folks, well. What is new? What is going on? Greetings from San Francisco, California, one more time. It is Tuesday, August the 26th, 2005. And here we are once again trying to figure out um, what this market is going to do, what this market is doing, and are we going to get caught flat-footed? Uh, do we know what to do given the fact that it seems like one of the Fed governors was fired? Some say this was unjustified. Others say this was justified. But what do we think? How is this going to affect Nvidia earnings? Yeah, Nvidia earnings are today after hours. So are we looking at um, another home run by Nvidia? Are they gonna outperform uh, previous metrics? Are we gonna show some lower guidance, some lower guidance for the future? Are we gonna keep crushing it, as they say? Given everything that is going on, and the some would say overreach of the government by taking a 10 to 15% stake on Intel, is this kosher, right? Um, I don't know. Let's talk about it. We have also the market. It's showing that it didn't really like those news. The fact that the government is now meddling into the free market. Um, However, there has been some past instances, right, where the government meddled in the free market and people didn't like it then. However, it was the Democrats that did it. So is it something that one could say is hypocritical because now the Republicans and President Trump are doing it? It's bad, and are the Democrats going to be up in arms? Um, just like the Republicans were up in arms in the past, but yet they still worked with Obama. I don't know, but let's see what we got going on today, right? Let's figure it out. Let's talk about it. We got Nvidia earnings. We have our savage stocks that seem to be kind of confused a bit because the market doesn't like these news yet. It seems to be kind of trying to find a happy medium somewhere. We have some stocks that are up, some stocks that are down, and how do we make money in this market, right? It seems like it's fairly volatile, and it doesn't know where to go. Some people would say that it's stagnant, and I don't think so. I just think there's opportunity everywhere. You just got to know where to look, right? Good morning, my friends. It is I, the Savage of Wall Street, once again, coming from San Francisco, California, saying good morning to you all, whoever you are, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my channel. What do we got going on here? Charlie C2 is in the house saying, what up, Savage? Jude K is in the house saying, good morning, Savage. Chase Rosita Parker is in the house saying, good morning. Hector is saying, good morning, all. And Cannon Fodder is in the house as well saying, hello, folks. Charlie C2 has the number one crown. Jude has the number 2. Chase, Rosita Parker, and Hector have the number 3, and to be taken over by Cannon Fodder. Jay Gill is also in the house saying, good morning, Savage, and all. Kent's mom is in the house. Thank you so much for watching once again, Kent's mom. Here we are again. Charlie C2 saying, wrote open $5 puts out to January 2027 yesterday. Sold them for $2.95. Wow, that's almost a 60%. Right? I really like that. That's 60%. That's quite a bit. Jude K saying good morning all. Jay Gill saying number 4. Double D is in the house saying good morning, my friends. Morning to you all. All right. So somebody's seeing that somebody's saying they wrote some open $5 puts, and I like that. They got almost 60%. You sold for $2.95, $5 puts. I mean, that is not terrible at all, especially if the rates get cut a few times. Open is going to 10. Those puts are going to go like this, within the next year if the rates do get cut 3 or 4 times. I see them going to like 40%, 50% easily. Not a bad ride at all, Charlie. I think it's just you're going to see a lot of volatility in the near term, but I mean that's exactly what that's what's paying you. I like that ride. I would do it myself. All right, so Nvidia has earnings today, guys. I don't know if you guys are playing Nvidia. I am, and so we are caught kind of in a conundrum, right? Are we gonna crush all metrics like we've done in the past? Perhaps, but do remember that that tariffs are hitting them at this point, right? So I think this past quarter is going to show some of the damage that tariffs have done. I'm gonna degen a little bit, and I'm probably gonna buy a put on Nvidia, and I'm just trying to pick my zone at this point. I kind of been in the morning, kind of just figuring out because it started down this morning, right? Like at 6:45, 6:50, went to 179. Now it's at 181. It was at 182 almost, I think, earlier on. So right now it's starting to come down. It's starting to creep up again. So it's trying to make up its mind. I'm if I buy a put, it may be, I don't know if I want to go to August 29th because it's a little cray. And the 180 puts, I mean, it's 181 right now. The 180 puts are 538. That's kind of what I was looking at. I was also looking at the 170. The 170s are 193. I don't know, man. I'm still on the fence as to what to do with Nvidia. I have a stinker for the Nvidia 170 put expiring this Friday, and I have a 151 stinker. I think Nvidia is probably going to crap the bed because forward guidance is not going to be as sweet as they expect it to be. So I'm looking for those 170 puts to be tomorrow between 300 to 500 bucks. All right, is it going to happen? I mean, I'm gambling, right? I mean, I'm kind of gambling at this point. But I've sold a lot of cash secure puts in the last week, and I've raised quite a bit of premium. So I'm degenning a little bit. But that's, if you take premium and you do cash secure puts with that premium, and then you bring premium off premium, right? Well, at that point, you're kind of playing with house money, so to speak, right? Anything could happen, of course. But it's a lot more palatable than if I just would take, my hard-earned money and then just buy some puts. Are my stinkers going to trigger? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to trigger, but that's where they are. And, I may adjust just seeing how Nvidia is moving at this point. It seems like it's upticking, and the high of the day on Nvidia was 181.76. It's at 181.20 at this point. I mean, buying a put is gambling, guys. Is gambling. I just don't know if I should go to 180 or 170. I think Nvidia's gonna crap the bed and go down 15, 10 bucks easily. So decisions, my friends. All right, what do we got here? Double D say good morning, and then Bunny Maker Juan is in the house. All right, guys. So, this situation with the Fed governor, right? Donald Trump just fired her, and he's saying because there was irregularities with I guess a mortgage that she took out to get her house, and it seems like there may have been some favors, but nothing can be proven. So is that kosher? Let's just be honest. This is a country where you're innocent and proven guilty, right? And then he's the number one. Um, he would be the number one example because he's been accused like thousands of times of malfeasance all over, from real estate to sexual abuse and all types of innuendo, right? I don't know that because I'm not there. I can't say for sure. But the Democrats are up in arms saying that this is overreach, that the United States government should not meddle and take a position into a private equity firm, right, or a private firm, and that there should be a free market. Okay, I get that. And I'm not saying that they're wrong, but my argument is, and this is not me being like a MAGA person, like this is me just being neutral, right? Do you guys remember Too Big to Fail? You guys remember when the banks were crashing and there was the I mean, one could say there was this argument that the banks were going to fail and that we should let them fail because, in a free market, if you have a good business, you're going to do well. And if cook the books and you break the law, like these banks were doing, and giving these people all these mortgages they shouldn't have given these people in the first place, well, then they wouldn't have gotten in trouble. And so a lot of people um, were saying we should just let them fail, let the free market be a free market indeed, right? And then the United States government stepped in, they bailed them out with our tax money, right? And they went into the auto industry and bailed them out, and it's just there is definitely history there where Obama, it was in this was when Obama was president, right? We let him take over, right? We let the United States government go in and take over and tell private firms. We told them what to do with their business, and we told them the legalities of how they had to operate and how to use their money wisely, because we had the United States people, right? We the people had a stake in those companies, because that's what ended up happening, and a lot of that money was paid back, but at a very small interest rate. And so some would say it was like at a 0% interest rate. Now, what did we have to show for, right? What did the United States population get out of that? I don't think we got anything. The banks recovered. They made a ridiculous amount of money. Bonuses were given out to vice presidents and upper management of banks, and those bonuses exceeded 10, 15, 20 million dollars, right? With our money. I mean, that's what happened. That's the bottom line. And so, now Democrats are up in arms saying that this is an overreach, that the United States, should not be meddling into like Intel, even though Trump said, we're gonna go and you bought these at the cheap, right? And then we're not gonna have a vote when it comes to operating procedures in the company, and the United States population is actually going to reap the benefits. So that remains to be seen. But my argument is that this has happened before. So I mean, just because the other side is doing it, and I don't agree with it, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that it shouldn't be done, right? Because we do have precedent. And so that's my argument with that. I the reason why she was fired, I mean, he can, as long as he has a reason, right? And it doesn't specify that reason has to be like at a specific level. It just says the United States executive can get rid of one of the Fed chairs of the Fed, right? Board of governors, for malfeasance, and it's up to his discretion to say what that malfeasance is. And so anyways, that's where we are. The market doesn't necessarily like it. I don't like it because it's now getting into where the United States is doing exactly what China does, and we're always bashing China for for the way that they operate their, businesses over there, right? Where the government steps in and tells, companies how they should run. They devalue their currency by just pushing stock up, right, and running it up and then selling it, and then it comes back down. I mean, it's just, you can't really trust, a company that is based out of China because of that reason. And that's, the main argument that we have, right? Now, we don't like the government as well because it is a communist government. It's literally in their name, the People's Party of the Communist China. I mean, that's exactly what it's called, right? So anyways, that's what we're doing. Now, I don't like it. I don't have to like it, but it is what it is. And I guess that, the overall market didn't like it, but it seems that right now it's at first they didn't like it. And now, as the news moves forward, as people digest what's going on and people kind of take into account that this has been done before by President Obama, then, it kind of is getting lost in the ether, right? And it's just it's settling the markets, so to speak, and the markets are coming back to where they were yesterday. Anyhow, we are where we are, and how do we make money, right? How do we make money in a market like the one we're seeing at this moment? Well, cash secure puts, right? Cash secure puts or covered calls. That's what we do. You just have to see where the opportunity is, and you have to take advantage of that. Today, for example, NEO seems to be ripping, right? NEO, which is a company based out of China, interestingly enough, is up 8%. I have NEO, and I am looking at the October 17 calls, the $9 strikes. When those get to around 50 to 75 cents, I'm going to start looking at selling those calls. Until then, it's still fairly cheap. Implied volatility is over 100, so it's kind of where I want it, but it's just too cheap right now. The stock is sitting at 663. Where is it going to go? I think it's going to go to $10. But is it going to go there this year? Is it going to go there soon? We don't know. We just know the stock is at 663 right now. Those of you that did some $4 and $5 cash secure puts are smiling from ear to ear, and I think that is warranted. What else do we have today? Domo. DOMO is up 15% today. I sold some $14 cash secure puts, October $14 cash secure puts. I think yesterday. And I think I sold at like 175. So those, I'm gonna let them marinate because I think Domo still has some more room to the upside, or to the upside. So I'm up almost 50% of those, right? And I'm gonna wait a little bit more. I just see that there's more room to the upside. So for all you guys that heard me talk about Domo the last day or two or three, you're smiling from ear to ear. Now, if you own the shares and you happen to have taken the plunge, right now would be a great time to sell a $17 or $18 call. Right now, if you sold a $18 call, you bring in $125 because it's between 115 and 135. I say you can go 130, right? Go a nickel below the ask and see if you get taken out. I think you will. Let's see here. What else is ripping today? Unity, guys. I told you guys yesterday. Unity. It seems like $40 is kind of the ceiling. $41 is kind of like where it kind of goes up and it hits that ceiling and it just comes crashing back down. There's just, for some reason, lava in the ceiling for Unity. So if you were to own Unity, I think right now would be a great time to sell a $45 call out to October 17th, and you can bring in $3. Do a $3 ask. Why not? Do a little stinker, bring in $3 to sell perhaps at $45. So basically, it has to move up another $500 in 100 shares, and you're going to get paid $300 for your problems. So you're essentially selling at 48. If you bought in the 20s, you're smiling from ear to ear. I don't suggest selling any cash secure puts today on it because you may get that chance tomorrow. I think Nvidia earnings is going to kind of mess with Unity. For some reason, it's pegged to Nvidia. Although this is not really an AI play, analysts did upgrade, and there's momentum. It's outpacing the tech sector, and I think Morgan Stanley and Wedbush raised their price targets for Unity. Strong Q2 earnings, right? So at this point, I would let it do what it does. But if you can sell some covered calls, I think that you're pretty safe in the $45 range. You can go to 50 in January. I think that's not a bad move at all. I think if you go to 50 for January and you bring in 450, that is not a terrible deal whatsoever. The stock has to move pretty much $1,000 up to $50 a share, and you're bringing in $450. You can pay your bills with that money, right? All right, what do we got going on here? Moneymaker Juan is in the house saying, good morning, Juan. How are you? Alex is saying, hey, Savage, I think Nvidia reports tomorrow after the bell, not today. Are we sure? Let me see here. Nvidia earnings. I thought they were reporting today. You may be right, actually. Let's see here. Let's see. I don't know. It says Nvidia earnings 2 p.m. Is that tomorrow? Let's check it out. I think you're right. Let's go and ask our friend Google, man. Nvidia earnings. All right. Nvidia set for $260 billion, 260 billion price swing after earnings. Nvidia stock gains as crunch earnings loom. Markets are shrugging off its high bar. How research universities benefit Nvidia and vice versa. All right, let's see here. Let's see what we got earnings. August 27th, 2025, after close not confirmed. Well, today is the 26th, but that's not confirmed though. You may be right though. For some reason, I thought it was. No, you're right. Here we go. Nvidia Corporation, August 2027, 2025 at 4 p.m. Yeah, no, you're right. I was wrong. My bad, guys. Well, Nvidia's earnings tomorrow, so they do move the market. I'll say that. And so I'm trying to get some cheap puts right now. I think 151 is my price for that $170 strike, and let's see if I get it. And if I do, and let's say tomorrow it goes to like 100, I'm just gonna get a couple of more puts to average down. I mean, it's gambling. I'll be honest with you guys. At this point, it's gambling. I think that the tariffs, we're gonna start seeing, what the tariffs are doing for Nvidia and the way they're hurting it. I think that we are going to see lower guidance. I mean, on top of the 15% that we've come to know that they are going to pay in addition to sales tax and every other tax that they have to pay in order to do business. They now have to pay 15% on top of that. So I think that's going to eat into their earnings, man. But again, nothing's for sure. We don't know. That's at this point, we're eager to see, right? CKT is in the house saying, morning all, no trades yet today. Maybe a slow one for me, no worries. I'll fold my arms and make more premium. You know what? Remember, guys, next Monday, it's a holiday, right? The stock market is going to be closed on Monday. So that's another day of decay. So don't be afraid to fold your arms. Sometimes doing nothing is harder than Here's the hardest part of trading. In a boring day, a cross your arms day sometimes is just really hard to get through. But sometimes you're going to have to go and not sell anything for a couple of days or weeks, and you have to be okay with that, which is why we take big chunks when we sell covered calls and cash secure puts, right? We go out a month or two or three, take big chunks because sometimes we'll go a couple of weeks. The market is just, for whatever reasons, it's just not giving you like an entrance, right? Everything seems to be moving 1%, 2%, and it's kind of stagnant. To which reminds me, I have to, although I'm bullish right now on our stocks, the overall market, I think it's going to be stagnant for a bit. But given Nvidia earnings and see how it goes, it may be bearish. However, I still have to buy a stag, because when I feel that the market is going to be flat and stagnant, that's going to be what we're gonna use. I'm going to use a stag, and I'm going to put it like right here, and it's going to be a stag, and then you guys will know that's going to be our inside thing, man. Anyways, SJ Tavares is in the house saying, "What's up, Savage? What's up, SJ?" Cannon Fodder saying is a person can buy a house as a primary residence, then later convert it to rental. Yes, you can. Kalua Dre saying, "Morning, Savage, the man." Thank you, brother. How you doing? Jesse Wilkes saying, "Yo." I think Jesse Wilkes. I don't know if I think you're a new guy. What's up, Jesse? Thank you're watching, man. Mr. Premium is in. Mr. Premium on the option. Poto is in the house saying, "Yo, let's go." And Shardy is saying, "Good morning, Savage and all." Good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. Here we are, yet another day of trading. Seems that the market is trying to find a footing, right? It's trying to make up its mind. And I mean, usually whenever Nvidia earnings are around the corner, it's stagnant a little bit, right? Have you guys noticed that? Nvidia moves the market either to the upside or the downside. They do have a very, very big shadow that they cast over the market, and I'm very curious to see what it is that they are going to show. I personally think Nvidia is going to give us some lower guidance, and I think that's going to affect their earnings. I think that they're going to say tariffs are going to eat away at their bottom line, and I think that that's going to drop the stock. I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is, and willing to buy some $170 cash secure puts. I'm sorry, $170 puts, and right now they're at 191. My stinker is at 151, so Nvidia needs to go to like 183, I think. And I think it's probably going to hit it today because people are trying to FOMO. There's a lot of people that are like, Nvidia has earnings, it always goes up, right? And it always kills all metrics, so it's going to go up this time, and I think that's what's going to happen. And I think that Nvidia is going to like 170, 175, 170 tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but on Thursday, right? So let's see what happens, right? Let's see what this market gives us. Let's see what Nvidia says. The stock it's saying is worth $181.42 at this point. There's no denying that, right? It's up almost 1% today. So let's see what it does. I personally think that there's pressure to the downside, man. There's room to the downside, and so I think that given everything we know up to this point, and the fact that the government is now stepping into into the free market and saying that they're going to take stake in different companies, I think this is going to affect maybe earnings as well. I mean, I guess somebody that's up in the Pentagon, I think I don't know if it was Hegseth that said this, but they said that they're looking at getting into some national defense contracting stocks. So they're looking at Halliburton, right? They're looking at Lockheed Martin and so on and so forth. And so it's that kosher, like is that what we want the government to do? I think the market is trying to digest all of this. And we'll see what happens, man. At this point, I'm just very excited to see what the earnings are going to say. Now, I do know for a fact NEO is up 10% almost today, and Domo's up like 16%. So I think that's where the opportunity lies today. So many of our stocks are up 1% or down 1%. It's really hard to say, that you want to take a dip in there. Look at C3.ai, for example, is down at $16.95. Now, does it belong there? Does it belong at $16.95? I would say no, right? But that's where it is. It's down not even at 1% today, right? So it's really hard to say you should take your chance with a cash secure put. However, I think Nvidia is also going to kind of have an effect, and so that's another reason I'm hesitant to tell people to do a 1750 cash secure put, which in October is giving you around $187 right now, right? I would definitely have considered it last week, but right now it's because of earnings, Nvidia earnings. I don't know. I think it's better to sell a covered call at this point on different stock, but I mean, all of our stocks are either down 1%, up 1%, save a couple of them. Riot is up 1.5%. I mean, it was just down, significantly, right? And now it's recovering. I think it's going to keep recovering. So, I mean, if you sold a $13 cash secure put out to October, I think $120 as a strike would not be terrible. You could do 118 to get filled right away. I mean, that's not terrible at all. And I won't fault you for going and doing that cash secure put, right? But you may want to wait for Riot to instead of being green, come down a little more. This morning, however, it was down 3%, $12.95. So that would have been a great time to do a cash secure put, but it just recovered so quick, right? BBAI, I mean, it's at 521. I don't think it should be down this low. Down almost 2%. I don't think it'll be terrible to go to January. Sell a $5 put out to January and bring in $113, $114. I mean, that's more than 20% that you're getting for a few months. If you were to put those shares, you're basically buying it for like $395, right? $390. I mean, that's not terrible at all. If it's a stock that you've been trying to get into and it was just a little too high for your taste and it's at $5 right now, but you still don't want to pay $5 and you want to be protected to the downside, the $115 strike, it's not terrible, man. It's not. I mean, the $5 strike out to January for $115 or $115 per share, not a terrible deal whatsoever, man. What else do we got here? Karen D saying, good morning, Savage and everyone. Bobby Atkinson is in the house saying AI could return once a new CEO is announced. I believe so. And I think people have to take advantage of the fact that it's down here at this point, right? Right at this moment, AI is where it is. I mean, I can't say it's not at $18, it's not at $17, it's not a $14 stock. It serves to be $25, $30, but I mean, it is where it is, right? So like, take what the market is giving you. Right now, it's giving you the opportunity to get into C3.ai for a very cheap price. And that's where we're at. You know, whether you want to buy or not, that is all up to you. But it's one of my savage stocks for a reason. BBAI right now, it's very good opportunity to do some $5 cash secure puts out to January if you want to get put them shares. If you want a cash grab and you want to just park your money for like a year and a half and bring in 55%, 50 to 55%, a BBAI $7 cash secure put right now will be giving you between 565 to 570. Sorry, 365 to 370. I mean, that is ridiculous. You're getting more than 50% back on your investment, which is really not an investment. It's more like you're parking your money out, you know, in on your brokerage firm. And you're basically saying, I don't want to put this money in the bank because it's doing nothing at the bank. It's not generating any money for me except 1-2%, maybe 3% with a CD in a year. Boo, friggin' who? But you know what? You could basically take, I don't know, if you really were believing that this company right here does not belong where it is, you could take $7,000, park them in Fidelity or Charles Schwab or Robinhood Webull, and say, here's $7,000. In 2027, I'm willing to buy BBAI for $7 a share. Give me $3,700 today. What is wrong with that? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You're basically making a killing. You're outperforming, a ridiculous amount of portfolio managers that actually get paid for this, and you can literally cross your arms for a year and a half and do nothing else, and you've made money. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And here's the thing, actually. Yesterday, I watched I watched Kramer, right? Jim Kramer, and he had his one of his lightning rounds, right? And during the lightning round, he was basically telling retail investors that you guys should not be your own portfolio managers. He's like, people need to stop trading, and you need to start holding. That's what he said. And you know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna look this up and see if I can share it. It was just so blatantly a call for retail investing to stop making money and start paying his buddies that are losing so much money. He's saying, you're not a portfolio manager. Don't try to be one. Let the experts do it. Stop trading. And then he mentioned Google, he mentioned Amazon, he mentioned Microsoft. He said, stop trading these. He mentioned Nvidia. He's like, there's just too much potential for you to get in trouble, and you got to let the portfolio managers do their job, right? You're not a portfolio manager. Stop trying to be one. And I laughed so hard because they are basically telling you you're too dumb, too stupid to know how to do this. What we do, it's just you're not intelligent enough to handle the gyrations of the market. You're not too smart. If you're basically taking you're taking your own portfolio and then trading it, you should just buy the stock and hold it and hope for it to go upwards. And yes, it's going to go down, but don't sell covered calls. And if it goes down, don't sell cash secure puts and wait for it to come back up, because you can get in trouble, right? You don't have the patience, you don't have the intellect to do so. And I just, man, I was screaming at the TV. I said a couple of bad words. My wife was like, What are you doing? You got to watch your language. The kids are in the house, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Jim Cramer, Mad Money. Let's see here. Trading, look it up. Trading has been the enemy of so many individual investors, says Jim Cramer 16 hours ago. And I want to share this with you guys. I'm trying to see if I can share it. I want to share my screen because it was just so freaking funny how these guys are just and let me see if you guys can see it. I want to see if you guys can see it. I've been trying to share my screen for the past few, and I can, sometimes I can't. Oh, it's black. Darn it. You know, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, guys. I basically have let me see here. Do I edit? No, I don't edit. Let's see here. I see my microphone. I want to share. How do I share it? Let me see, guys. Reactions, pop out chat. How about pop out chat? How about if I pop out the chat? Do I do that? Here we go. How about if I share the chat? Does that work? Let's see. Okay, so that works. I see that people are saying good morning, Savage. So, you know, I don't know, but it's just, you know, Bobby Atkinson saying I could return once in these. I don't know why I can't share with you guys. I don't know why I can't share with you guys the other part, which is this Jim Cramer video where he's literally telling people that you guys are going to get in trouble, that the enemy of the retail investor is actually trading. I can't share it. God damn it. You guys are going to have to look for it yourselves. Go to YouTube and look at trading has been the enemy of so many individual investors, says Jim Cramer. And I just, you know, it's a 10-minute segment. And you guys are going to laugh so hard when you guys see the clown basically saying that you need to stop trading, right? You need to stop selling covered calls. You need to stop. You need to stop selling cash secure puts and stop making money because, you know, only his friends, his portfolio manager friends, have the intellect and the know-how and the experience to do so. And I just, you know, I think of people like Mr. Premium of the Option that sell options for like $5, $6, $7, right? And then buy them back for a penny. I think of people like Kent's mom, who, you know, trades and makes, you know, 105% returns. I think of people like Bobby Atkinson that, you know, make, you know, over $10,000 in a day. And I'm just thinking, like, is this who he's talking about? Are we too stupid, you know, to be our own portfolio managers? I mean, I am outperforming the market right now by what? Let me see what I'm outperforming the market by now. 54.44%. I'm outperforming the market by 54.44%. And so, what the hell? You know, like, am I too stupid? Am I? Should I not be taking control over my own freaking destiny here? Should I be paying somebody else to lose me money? People, you know, these portfolio managers were charging people 1-2% during the 2020 crash, when everything went down in 2021, 2022. They were charging people ridiculous amounts of money, whether they liked it or not, whether they made money or not. And that's just insane to me. Like if you're losing someone, say 3, 4, 5% of their portfolio holdings, and then you charge 2% of that portfolio, the equivalent of, right? That is insane. These guys never lose money. They always make fees. So why should you have to pay those fees, right? I just think it's insane. I think that people should take control over their own portfolios, and it's easy to do. I mean, it takes some work, but it's not rocket science. If a dummy like me can do so, you can do so as well, right? So don't let nobody tell you, and if especially women, man, I get so, it's just I see the metrics, of the people that watch my channel, and I can only infer, and this is what Uncle Bruce used to say as well, is that he sees that, only 5% of the people that watch him, only like 5% of people that watch me are female, are women. And I don't know why. God damn it, I think of people like Kent's mom, right? I think of people like Jesus Christ, of Yiddy, and so I'm just like Charlie and whatnot. I mean, it's just, you guys could make so much money, and if you guys just spread the word and tell people, man, you can do this as well, you know, um, whether you work or not, you can do this. This is something that can bring you money, and not just you, your families, and it's just life changing once you get the gist of it. You just got to basically do it, right? You have to just basically take an approach where you're like, you know what, this is what I decide to do, and this is what I'm going to do. Um, Anyways, I don't mean to go on a rant, and so let's see here. Bobby Atkins saying FedGov will challenge Trump fire with lawsuit article on Market Watch. Yeah, I know they're basically challenging the legality. I mean, he can do it, and they're challenging the cost, right? It has to be a justifiable cost, but I mean, it doesn't state what level of justifiable cost that cost has to be. And if she did in fact, even if there's a misprint, even if there's like one number that's off in that loan that she took out for her mortgage, I guess, is off, they're going to look at people that are in the same level as her, as far as the FICO scores and the amount that she brings in per year, percentage for the loan, all that stuff. And they're going to look at people that are in the same level, be like, why, if these metrics are off, and it seems like she got favors done, they took it easy on her because of who she is and her position, then that could be trouble. That's all that it is needed. And even if it goes to the Supreme Court, look at the Supreme Court. I mean, that's where it's going to end up, right? Look at who sits in the Supreme Court. You have 6 justices that are extremely conservative, and they're pretty much his judges. I mean, he said it. They're my judges, right? And so that's exactly where the appearance of malfeasance, when it comes to the federal government taking over companies, that's where it's going to go. This is going to basically set alarms for people that trade with us, right, internationally. A lot of people may say, I don't think the United States is a country that I want to do business with anymore. I want to minimize my exposure. All those investors may take their money to Germany and to England, to France, to Japan, and may just take a walk and say, I just there is no freedom of the market at that point, right? One can argue there's no freedom of the market, and so that if that's where we're going, um, I don't know. Bobby Atkins is saying, okay, lunch hour with Savage is over for me. Take care, everyone. Bobby, you take it easy, my friend. We'll see you on the next one. Jared is saying, what's up, Savage from Cincinnati? What is up, my friend from sunny California? Cannon Fodder saying, retail is supposed to just hold the bags. That's what they want you to do, man. That's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to buy stock and hold it. So basically, you're gonna be the dummy left holding the bags while they take profit, and the stock is gonna drop 20%. Then retail is gonna come back and buy and FOMO, right? When they start buying down here again and moving it upwards, and you're gonna keep holding the bags, and then you're gonna go back up, 2% from where you were before, and then it's gonna drop another 20%. Then you're left holding the bags, and then they're gonna go and they're gonna they're gonna short it, right? And then they're going to come in and start buying at the low again, and then they prop it up, and then FOMO's going to happen. Retail's going to buy, and they're going to be left holding the bags. Ain't no way they want you to manage your own portfolio. They're losing too much money, and the amount of fees that they charge are in the billions of dollars, right? And the sad thing is that people believe that these clowns, in Wall Street, are the ones that are savvy enough to make money in the stock market. And you and I watching are proof that it's not true. That we can do it as well, but it's just you just have to take a position, literally, right? You just have to say, this is what I want to do. This is something that I'm willing to literally put my money on, and in making a bet on yourself is never going to be a bad thing. Making a bet on yourself, you're never going to go wrong. Believe in yourself, folks. Believe in yourself, man. All right, what do we got here? RX is down a bit right now. It's kind of trying to recover. It was down almost 1%. RX is one of those that, gosh, it's just, there's so much upside to this stock, and it's so blatant how they're shorting it, and they're trying their best to keep it under 5. I don't think they're gonna succeed. First rate cut, this flies to $7-8, or before that. Quarter earnings are around the corner too, so we'll see what happens. Right now, on October 17th, $5 cash secured put will bring you 70 cents, though. That's $70. You're basically saying, I'm willing to buy this in October 17th. If you want to make even more money, you could get it paid $120 for 120. For 120 as a stinker, you can go to January and buy and sell. A cash secure put, a $5 cash secure put in RXRX. They're the market to sell you these at $3.80 a share. That is not terrible at all. Same thing with BBAI. Those $5 cash secure puts out to January, the $5 ones are not terrible at all, right? It just depends on what you want to do, and I get it. I mean, it's a green day for RXRX, right? But in the grand scheme of things, it's severely down from a month ago when it was around 630, 640, right? And it's just, I mean, if you look at the chart, man, it's just the hits that it gets. It comes to a point and then it gets hit. It comes to a point and it gets hit. It comes to a point that gets hit. It's just so blatant how they're trying to keep it down. And thus far, they're succeeding, but I don't think they're going to be there for longer. I think once it recovers and it makes up its mind, and like I said, we're one good news cycle away from it going to $7-8. SOXS, the Directions Daily Semiconductor leveraged bear shares are down to 667. The 52-week low is 640. We're almost at 62-week lows. I'm sorry, 52-week lows. These shares are going to go to $8 if Nvidia craps the bed, because it's basically a semiconductor leveraged fund, right? So buying 100 shares of this would not be terrible. at market rate. I already have a position on it, and I may average down if we see 541 on my stinkers, but it's very unlikely at this point. I mean, when that flies, it's going to fly. Let's see. Riot is trying. It's up almost 2% at this point. Open Door. Open Door was up to 520s in the 520s earlier, up 14%. Now it's down. Don't be scared of a $4 cash secure put on Open Door expiring October 17th. Ask for $1. Don't be scared of that. You're bringing in pretty much 25%, right? So, worst case scenario, you buy Open for $3. Open is going to go above 5 again. It's just a matter of when. I think Open's going to go to $10 a share. Once these rates get cut, and they tried to short it, they did not succeed, and now they're going to have to. They're playing with fire. The shorts are going to get burned, man. They've been getting burned. So at this point, it's your prerogative if you want to play in the Open Door Technology Park, though. Again, $3 cash secure puts. Even the $3 cash secure puts out to October. You could do a 50-cent stinker, bring in $50 for those $3. The $4 cash secure puts are not terrible though. You're bringing in $1. You're putting $400 out. You're getting $100 back, and then you're just gonna see what the market gives you, right? January is 151. I don't advise going to January in the $4 cash secure puts. I think somebody said that they brought in. They did $7 cash secure puts out to 2027 and brought in like $3-4 or something like that. I think that was insane. I think that's great. You're bringing in over 50% if you go out to January 2026, guys, on the $7 cash secure puts. And if you go to 2027, $7 cash secure puts are $468. So is that money in the bank? Could be a moneymaker. January 2027, $7 cash secure puts for $465. I mean, that is insane. That is insane. In fact, you're bringing in almost 70%. I mean, that's goddamn. Yeah, 65 to 70%. That is pretty good. If you want to put your money where your mouth is, you put a $5 stinker in there, you're bringing in 60%. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money. Put a $5 stinker, and for your $7 cash secure puts, why not? Why not? I think that this is not financial advice, obviously, right? But don't be scared to jump into the Open Door playground, guys. There's a lot of money to be made there. IOVA is down 2% today. Let's see here. For those of you guys that think that you missed the bus when it comes to, or the train when it comes to Open Door Technologies, can I remind you guys we have a stock called Smart Rent out there that is going to absolutely fly when real estate rates are cut. When we cut rates and real estate rates start recovering, it's sitting at 148 at this point, right? Don't be surprised if it doubles in price to $3 in the next few months. It's not a terrible. It's not a terrible idea to go in with 100 shares, man. 100 shares is $148. A little lottery ticket, if you will. Are you really going to miss $148? And then do like Jim Cramer is telling you. Just hold the bags, right? And see what happens. You know, Wolf, Terra Wolf is up a little today, 3.5%. It's pretty good. My $8 cash secure puts and my $7 cash secure puts are just beautiful. And I want to dare the market to take me out September and in October. So, I mean, you know, we're looking good there. Ethereum is at 4,500. Bullish stock was down to $63 this morning, right? I'm waiting for it to go to the 50s. I think if there's room to the downside on it, and if it goes to the 50s, I'm thinking about some cash secure puts, some $55 cash secure puts, and trying to bring in like $6-7 bucks. Why not? Get it under 50. I think that will be okay. Let's see here. Red Cat is down today. Red Cat's down almost 5%, guys. Red Cat falls over 5% as new maritime division launch is overshadowed by legal scrutiny and weak earnings. Bucking sector gains. Red Cat announces the launch of Blue Ops, a new maritime division focused on uncrewed men craft. I mean, dude, you know what? Red Cat, not terrible to go into the October 17th cash secure puts and do a stinker of 80 cents on the $8 cash secure puts expiring October 17th. Right now, those cash secure puts are 68. I say at the $8 stinker or 80-cent stinker is not a terrible deal at all on that $8 cash secure put or $8 put. You're basically getting 10%. And you're protected to the downside, basically buying at 720. I don't think that's terrible at all. Or you could do the $9 cash secure puts. Just go to January, bring in $2.05. Not terrible at all. I'm not mad at that whatsoever. You could stink it at 225 if you want it. I mean, see if you get filled. But if you want to get filled right away, do 205. Not a terrible deal at all, guys. Let's see here. FFAI, Faraday Future Intelligent Electric is down 5%. So if you were to do some cash secure puts, today would be the day. Go to October 17th and do some, well, I don't like the 250 cash secure puts. I like $2. You can go to January and do $2 cash secure puts for 60. Put a stinker at 60, see if you get filled. Why not? You know, QQQs are recovering. Nvda's semiconductor is down a bit today. It was down to like 3% earlier on. It's down 1.5% today. We could just see what happens with that. QUBT is down not even a point today. So if you be buying some quantum plays, QUBT is not a terrible one to go into. You know, do a $15 cash secure put out to January. Bring in 300 bucks. Basically, little over 20% for your troubles. Not terrible at all. And you're buying essentially at $12. I think worse things have happened. Rigetti Computing is up 5.5% today. Nice. Very nice. My $13 cash secure puts, I'm up already 35%. Beautiful. And I'm just going to hold and let them put these shares to me on October 17th. Right now, if you own Rigetti Computing, you're up over 5% for the day. It would not be a terrible thing to sell a covered call. And the $18 covered call would bring you in $1 at this point. Not terrible at all. So, you know, get paid to hold the stock. Worst case scenario, you're selling literally at 19. Not bad. IonQ is up today, 5%. That's my baby. IonQ is up 5%. It's at $40. So selling a call and asking for $45 in October is not terrible. October 17th, sell a $45 covered call, bring in $3, $300 for your troubles. Not terrible, my friends. Not terrible at all. Soundhound was up almost 4% this morning, and now it's down again. So, $12 cash secure puts out to January, not terrible at all. I don't think it's wrong at all, but I think there's a little room to the downside. I think this is one of the tickers that is going to move with Nvidia, and like I say, I think that Nvidia is going to go down to a little bit after earnings, and again, this is all speculation, just based on all the metrics we got, right? And then we'll see what happens. All right, so here we go. What else do we got here? Charlie C2 is saying, Ricardo Canal is in the house. Mr. Lucky is in the house. Charlie C2 saying, looking forward to GME earnings in a couple of weeks. Me too. Mr. Lucky saying, savage. Ricardo Canales is in the house saying, savage. What's up, Ricardo? What's up, Mr. Lucky? Kilo Dre saying, the issue with open is if the Fed doesn't cut in September, it could get real ugly for this stock. Agreed, but we're going to get a cut. I mean, look at Trump. He's already sending signals to Jerome Powell. Like, I can get rid of you anytime I want. I got rid of one of the Fed governors. I can get rid of you anytime I want. It's a message, man. Don't mistake that. Charlie C2 saying, I wrote open $5 January 2027 premium was $2.95 yesterday. I think that's not bad at all. Essentially, you're buying the stock at $2.05. Not terrible. Kilo Dre saying, Charlie, that sounds like a better write at $5. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. Bobby Atkins saying, went with open $4 cash secure puts 2027 to kin 216, 3 of them. Over 50% on the right. Not terrible at all, my friend. CKT says, I Brigetti $15 puts times 10 for October. Honestly, hope to get assigned the shares. Me too. Me too. I may have gone too low, but I like free money, and I saw a little more room to the upside. I think we could get filled at 13 and 12, but I guess we'll see, right? Either I make money or I make more money. So it's one of those where we kind of have to fold our arms and see what it gives us, right? Bobby Atkinson saying the cut is happening. Trump has to pull this around before January 2026 and midterm campaigning shirts. I agree. I mean, it's he knows that his head is in the chopping block. He knows that there's a reason that he's trying to kind of steal those 5 House representatives in Texas, right? Their ideas are just not winning. If your ideas are so good, why do you have to cheat? And California already put them on notice. It's like, if you do this, then like what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So, we're going to basically meet those 5 and do our own 5. And I think they shouldn't stop there. I think that if Texas showed that they're not willing to play fair. So why would Democrats play fair? I mean, that's not where we're at. At this point, you have to just punch a bully in the mouth. And then, I think Illinois has to redistrict themselves. They got to gerrymander and get another 3-4 House representatives. I think they can do so in Massachusetts as well. Right? Florida said they're going to do it. So why wait for Florida? New York, take 5-6 more. This is the Republicans' fight to lose, right? So they wanted this. Now, they can't cry foul. They said, we're going to do this. And so now Democrats will be like, bet. Let's do it then. And then make Trump a sitting duck, right? A lame duck president. And I mean, they're going to probably, I think it's stupid what they're thinking about doing, just impeaching him again. Like, there's so many things that they can do other than, right? And I just think that's what's really sad and stupid with our politics is instead of helping people, right? And instead of moving forward to make the country better, they get into like all these petty squabbles where they start saying, well, we're going to impeach you again and make you a 3-time impeached president. Like, who cares? He obviously doesn't care. Republicans, I mean, the Senate is not going to do anything. They've shown that they won't do anything, and people are just turned off by this. This is why Democrats, um, the energy is down. They're losing voters left and right. The other side is gaining because they're willing to say, F it. We're going to do what we do. And then, this is what we're for. And Democrats are telling you who they're against. And that's the problem. They're telling you, we're against Trump. We're against, what he does. And it's like, okay, we don't care. Like, what are you going to do about it? Right? Like, what? Like, I don't want to hear about, the transgender issues. I don't want to hear about, we're trying to save democracy. Like, I don't want to hear about, we're trying to bring in new voters. It's like, you're no better. Like, you have 80-year-old senators out there that are not willing to change their stance. And although I don't agree with Mandani in New York, right? He told you what he's for. That's why he won, because he flat out said, this is what I want to do. And they said, well, you're against Israel. And he's like, I've never said anything against Israel. I'm not even going to go to Israel because I'm not the mayor of Israel. I'm the mayor of New York City, and I'm worried about New York City. And that's what the problems are. And that's where I'm going to focus on. And he won. Look at that. What a novel idea. You tell the voters, I don't care about anything else other than you guys. You guys voted for me. This is what I care about. These are the issues you care about and you voted me for. This is what I'm going to deliver. That's what people want. Republicans voted for less for illegal immigration, right? Less illegal immigration. They voted for deportation, right? They voted for more control of the government in schools. They did. They voted for a lot of social programs to get cut, even if it meant that they're going to lose them. They didn't. They may not have understood exactly what that meant, right? But that's what they voted for, and now they're getting everything they voted for. That's what Democrats need to do. They need to get their heads out of their ass and say what they're for. Either you're for this or against this, but don't say that you're just against someone else's issues or against someone else, because that's not voting for something. That means you're voting against someone. It's just silly. Anyways, I don't want to get political. This is why I like the stock market, right? The stock market doesn't care whether I'm a Republican or a Democrat. They don't care. They just care that that I have money in my account. Excuse me, guys. All right. It's just an automated call. Let's see what we got here. Bobby, I can say the cut is happening. Trump, yes. Midterm campaigning shirts. I got it. Dude is saying, let's go. And Tom Kaufman is saying, hi, Savage. What's up, Tom? Thumbs up, guys. Come on, man. Let's give a thumbs up. And remember, the way that you guys can probably help with the channel is if you guys like have some downtime and you guys are at home and you're going to take a shower or like go do something, some reading, some work, you guys play my video in the background with no volume, just mute it and then just have it playing on your desktop. Yeah, not the worst thing ever, right? It will help me get some more traction, on YouTube. And I've actually been getting quite a little bit more impressions and I like that. I think that I'm being exposed to a few more people, and I think that's cool. The goal of this channel, for me at least, is to make 100 millionaires, right? There's like 20 something people here. So let's see how we grow, right? But I'm just going to keep making my videos and keep going live. I'm going to keep making money and asking you guys how you guys are doing. And, you guys are going to tell me if you guys are making money, if you guys are not making money, what stocks you guys are looking at. There may be something that I haven't seen, or I may see something that you guys haven't seen. And we keep each other honest, and basically that's what happens, right? Anyhow, Guys, I'm gonna hit the road. I have to go do my exercises, and I have to go to physical therapy. However, let's look for opportunity. If a stock is down 5 to 10%, and you'll be looking at it, don't be afraid of going in with some cash secure puts. Keep an eye on Open Door Technologies. Keep an eye on C3.ai. Uh, let's keep an eye on Rocket, right? Let's keep an eye on GME. Remember, earnings are in a few weeks. GME's down to 22.48 today, so my covered calls are looking wonderful. I'm gonna just let them bleed out, quite honestly. I have $22 cash secure puts, $23 cash secure puts, and $30 cash secure puts expire in September, October, and January. So, let's see what the stock tells us, right? Honestly, I think they're going to do very well. I think the numbers are going to be something that it's not going to be alien to us or foreign to us, but I think that the street's probably going to pay attention and try to they're going to try to buy the stock. FOMO may kick in. I see it running back up to 24, $25 a share, maybe 26. In which case, I'm looking at $30 covered calls in January. That's the plans you got to make. You got to tell yourself, if this specific stock I am holding goes up, this much, this much, this much, these are the covered calls that I'm looking at on these strike dates, and these are the premiums that I may look to get out of, right? That's the plan you guys have to make. Um, let's see here. Mr. Lucky saying, best I can do is watch live and give it a thumbs up. Mr. Lucky, it is all good, man. Thank you so much, brother. You're watching me from England, and that's enough for me. Kilua Dre Savage, it's possible to keep the chat history so when I rewatch or watch old episodes, I can still see the live chat history. Um, you know, I don't think that's possible. I think that the chat is live and it kind of erases itself. But what I can do is I can start kind of highlighting the chat, and then you'll see it on the live, right? Like you'll see the window, and that's one of the ways that you keep it alive. But you're gonna kind of have to watch the video, right? And that's kind of going to be where you're going to see the chat. I'm trying to get to a point where I'm going to get a special plug so that I can kind of be the one that that most YouTubers use. I just haven't had the time, guys. It's just I haven't had the time, and when I do have time, I just want to go live because that's when the market opens, right? But between the kids being in school, me making their lunches or dinner, and then me going to like the physical therapist and the chiropractor and my doctor for this injury that I suffered at work, time gets real short. Days get real short, and before you know it, my wife is home. And I kind of want to talk to the wife, right? And we kind of have to get ready for the next day with the kids and get ready for school. We got to get their snacks ready and their outfits ready, and so the days get shorter. But I'm going to do a little more research into the that plug that I can use, so that you guys can see the messages in like my screen at the same time, like kind of like a lower thirds situation, right? Tom Kaufman saying, thanks for going live. Enjoy actual time thoughts on the market and from you and our community. Me too, man. That's exactly why I wanted it to be more proactive with this channel and go live a lot more frequently so that we can keep like the Uncle Bruce society, so to speak, kind of here and in the spirit of all of us being able to go together live and talk about stuff, right? The market and such. Jude K say, okay, Savage, thank you for watching. Charlie C2 says, thanks, Savage. Mr. Lucky saying, England, eh? I live in Hawaii. Oh, shit, you're in Hawaii. I'm sorry, Mr. Lucky. You are in Hawaii. My bad. I forgot who else. Someone is in England. Jude K, Mr. Lucky, he was close. Not that close. Anyways, all right. Preview the option, Mr. Lucky, Ricardo, Kilua Dre, Charlie C2, Ken's mom, Charlie, Karen D, Bobby Atkinson, Jared, Cannon Fodder, CKT, Alex, Jesse Wilkes, let's see here, Jake Gill, Double D Moneymaker Juan. Thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Until tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Same time, same channel. You guys know, same bat channel, same bat time. I'll see you guys then. Until then, have a great day. Have some happy trading, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.